bringing that back full circles, you talked about at the beginning of customer centric. They're the guiding line of what we're going through in the customer journey. Who in this process, and whether hybrid organization, whether marketing's at the hub or we've got everyone in their functional roles,
Mhm.
uh, who owns the customer journey? Because that's something that we don't, as you've talked through all this, that's what's been ringing through in my head is
Yeah.
you're mapping out the customer journey and gathering data from each step of that journey.
Yeah, you are. The content and communications team, I believe, has to map out the customer journey and own that journey. They need to communicate that and share that with the rest of the company, obviously, and develop content to meet that journey, right? To fulfill. So the content and communications team, I think, should own that in conjunction with the rest of the marketing function, and again, sharing with the rest of the company. And by the way, real quick, the more you can share as marketers with your company internally, the better you're gonna be, right? It's amazing how little people actually know about what marketing does, or there's not only no understanding in some cases, or less understanding than needed, but there's misunderstanding as well. Oh, I thought you guys were doing X. Oh, I thought we were going here. So I really recommend to all marketers, don't forget your internal audience, kind of key, and to make sure you're talking to them. And it can be as simple as a newsletter, but I recommend maybe even some meetings and some fun. Have marketing put on a lunch, and talk to everybody. So content communication needs to own the buyer's journey. And I want to take a moment to address, I think, the first part of your question, your comment. A lot of this gets a lot easier if you get the first stuff right. If you really know who your customer is and you really understand what you're the best in the world at, then, and you come up with a pretty good strategy, right? Because you know your competitors and you understand the substitutes and you understand the market landscape. Then the rest of it, which is the creative and the content and the measurement of the campaigns, that's all actually not that hard to tweak and fix, because chances are you're not going to get it all right the first time. We know that. And so my joke about the rocket isn't actually valid, because rockets have little stabilizers on them and they can adjust course, right? And you'll get to the moon if you're generally pointed in the right direction. So I think it's important for marketers to recognize that getting the big stuff right and understanding the problem you solve and why you're the best in the world at it, and who your customer is, and what they're really looking for, means that you can try out different strategies, different creative, different messages, and obviously measure everything, test everything, and continue to improve. I had a good friend. I'll tell you a quick story. We were just talking the other day. So it's not my story, it's his story, but he was working with a company that is in the movie distribution business, and they're pretty buttoned up, pretty smart. Not one of the major studios, but a studio that knows what they're doing, and they were just a little off, and they felt it, but they didn't know why. And they brought him in, and he said, you're doing great on the big pillars, but we know a few things about digital marketing, and we see that your creative needs to be tweaked. And it was an easy fix, and it saved them millions in wasted ad spend. He called it his favorite kind of assignment because it was, he just touched one thing and it changed, so many different things.